Yeah, so okay, continue. So let me just know if anybody can hear my voice. Just say hi. You can hear my voice. Thank you very much, boss. Yeah, so good evening, everyone. My name is Ajibade Abdullah. Today we'll be extensively looking at Web3 Js. So before our Web3 Js, we actually look like a mini smart contract, which I've actually walk you guys through. I'll just like take like 5 minutes to repeat it again. So basically, we have a couple of modules which are used in interacting our smart contracts with our front end. So the way to interact our smart contract with our front end is the use of API. So what do we know about API? API is just like our binary, the application binary interface. It's just the interface between our smart contracts and our front-end application. So basically, before I even start anything coding, a tip: always use the documentation. It actually save you guys a lot. You see, 6 hours of debugging can save you 5 minutes of coding, of reading documentation. So what I mean is, instead of you trying to check Stack Overflow or trying to debug, try to read the documentation first. So I'm certain that it will save you a lot. So basically, let's go to our Web3 JS. I'm coming. Yeah, so this is the getting started page. So Web3 JS is it's a library or a collection of modules that contains functionalities for the Ethereum ecosystem. So it's just a library that is used to interact our smart contracts with our front end. So we have a couple of modules. We have Ether.js, but for today, sorry, can you guys hear me very well? Hello, please let me know if you can hear me.
It's breaking. No, it's breaking.
Am I still breaking?
You are good to go. You are good to go.
So am I still breaking like this?
You are okay. You're okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, so where did I stop? Yeah, I said we have a couple of modules too that would use. I think we have an Ether.js too for our front end. Sorry, for interacting too. But today we'll be looking at our Web3 JS. So this is basically our Web3 JS documentation. We'll actually be looking at it as we go on. So we'll be making use of React.js, which is a front-end framework. So to use our Web3 JS library, we can actually install it by the use of npm install Web3, or if you want to make use of Yarn, you can actually use Yarn. So if you are making use of the pure JS, you just head down to your dist folder inside your Web3 module. It will just be like web3/dist/web3.main.js. Sure you get. So let me show you guys their I think they are GitHub. Okay, let's just go. Like once I get it, I'll paste it for you to you guys. So let me show you my smart contracts I will be working on. So can anyone see my VS Code?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, that's fine. Thanks very much. So basically, Smart contract. Yeah, so I have like 3 smart contracts here. 2 are tokens, and 1 is just pure smart contract that doesn't have a token, but we're making use of our token. So first of all, we have like a DAI token, which is just like our USDT. When I mean USDT, I mean it's our stable coin. You know what USDT is? USDT is stable coin. We have USDT, we have DAI, we have USDC, and the likes. So our DApp token will be a sort of will be like our reward token. Sure, you get. So they are basically ERC20 token. So I believe all of us knows how to write ERC20 token. So basically, I'm not using OpenZeppelin here. I'm basically writing my code, and I just have like 3 functions. I have transfer function, I have approve function, and I have transfer from function, which I believe we all know what they do. So back to our focus. So basically, oh, okay, that's cool. We'll be creating a smart contract just for staking our coin, just staking and unstaking, nothing more. It's not one kind of big deal. So basically, this our created smart contract needs to use our ERC20 token. So by that, we'll actually be importing our. I'm talking about line 5 and line 6 now. We'll actually be imported our DAI token, our DApp token. I assume you guys know what Pragma Solidity does. It's just to like specify the version of Solidity you are actually using. And the first line, just to like specify your license. So basically, the name of my token firm, my token, sorry, my smart contract is token firm. I said I'm the owner, and I saved my DApp token into a DApp token variable, same as DAI. So line 15 is just like an array of address of stakers you get. So line 18 and 19, you basically know what mapping is. Mapping is just like something that takes in a type and return another type. So basically, the first taking balance is just like something that takes in our bank account number and return our account balance. So the address here is our account number, and the unit, the on int here, the on signed integer is our account balance. So as staked is just to keep track of your stake status. If all users should call their stake function now, so their stake mapping now, it will return false. Why? Because nobody has staked in their token. So this is a constructor. We all know what it does. It's just like a special function that runs once the smart contract has been deployed. So nobody can actually call the constructor function after the stuff has been deployed. So I basically have 3 functions here. Okay, I think I have more than that, but the main one, 3 functions here, which is called stake token. So stake token is just like functions that allow users to stake their token. So I figure out that some people usually pass their address as a variable here. It doesn't really make sense. We can actually get the address of the person calling the function with this simple code message.sender. If I actually console this message.sender now, I'll basically get your address. So now, if you want to stake an amount, let's say you want to stake 0 naira. So line 29 will prevent you from staking 0 naira. Why? Because you can't actually stake 0 naira. But if your staking amount is more than 0, they are good to go. So now, we would be seeing that we are actually making use of transfer from function. So the reason why I commented the transfer function is that some of us might be thinking that why is it that we are not making use of our transfer function? So basically, this is what our transfer function does. It basically transfer money from, sorry, it basically transfer money to an address. So imagine me making use of this transfer function. That means I would be like transferring money to the message.sender, which doesn't really make sense. You get what I'm saying? So that is why we are making use of transfer from function. So basically what transfer from function does is it moves money from one account to another. So the one address to another. So the line 32 just says transfer token from message.sender to the smart contract address. So if you want to access the smart contract address, smart contract property, you use the word this. So after that, you set the user staking balance to the new amount. So after that, you set the user's stake status as staked is equals to true. Then after that, you save the user's address, because this smart contract would like to keep track of everybody that has interacted with it. So that is why we're actually using stakers.push. So stakers.push is basically pushing all addresses that has interacted with us. These are our smart contracts. So let's leave the ownership, change ownership for now. So let's move to the unstake one. So the unstake one is basically saying it allows user to unstake their balance. So we'll first check for the user's balance. After checking, then we'll check if the user's balance is greater than or less than the amount he wants to withdraw. If not, then we set the user's balance again. So let's say you stake 20 and you want to withdraw 10. So 20 minus 10 is 10. Then we reset your new staking balance. So we then check if your staking balance is 0. If your staking balance is 0, we would change your stake status to false, because you are not staking anything with us again. That is when you unstake everything you staked. So after that, we then transfer the amount you want to unstake by this transfer from die.transfer. So you can see that we are not using die.transfer from, because why? We are just simply transferring money from the smart contract to the person that called it function. Okay, so the last one is issue token. So the only person that will be able to call this issue token is the deployer of this smart contract. So we check if message.sender is equals to the owner. If not, then you throw an unauthorized error. So if you are the one, it's basically cycle through the stakers array. Then it actually checks each address of everyone. So if your stake address is greater than 0, you'd receive our DAI token. Here you get. If it is not equals to 0, okay, I'm coming. Let me admit somebody. Yeah, so if it is not more than 0, you will not get anything. So if you unstake before the owner want to issue token, you won't get any token. So another way we can actually do it is you can actually like set like an unstake period. Like you can only unstake when after 7 days, yes. So we actually make use of the block time stamp and the likes. So this one I just wrote it basically now to transfer ownership. Let's say you want to transfer ownership, you just have to like set new ownership. So once you set new ownership, the previous owner of the smart contract will no longer have access to some delicate tokens. So that's it for the smart contract. So basically, I have an already made interface. I believe everyone here knows how to write HTML, CSS. You get. So I'll be basically focusing on Web3 Js. So I won't be coding any HTML, CSS. Okay, let me head down to my browser and show you guys my interface. Yeah, so this is our already created interface. So here we'll be displaying our staking balance, our reward balance, and our adapt token balance. So remember I said that anytime you're trying to make use of any module, try to at least read their documentation. So as you can see here, these are ways to access or make use of our Web3 Js. So let's go down to our website. So basically, the first thing to do now is to get a Metamask browser, which is called, so it will get an Ethereum browser. So the first one is a Metamask browser, which is an extension. Here, I think I have my Metamask installed, but let's say for the purpose of people that don't know how to install Metamask, so let me remove Metamask from my extension and just show you guys how to like install Metamask extension. So basically, yeah, you should know how to navigate to the extension, your Google Chrome extension. So basically, this is the Metamask extension. All you just have to do is just click on Add to Chrome. So it will ask you blah 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 blah. Then you click on Add to Chrome. So it's basically downloading. Okay, seems it's adding. So after adding, okay, let's just leave it. Let's just go back to our token. Yeah. So basically, after, okay, I'm coming. Let me open a new batch. I'm sorry, my system is a little bit slow. Okay, so now I have my Web3 Js installed, but for record purposes, if you want to install your Web3 Js, all you just have to do is npm install Web3. Then you click on install. Sorry, then click on enter. And if you don't want to make use of the full keyword, you can actually use npm install. Then you click on enter. So that is how you install your Web3. So after that, look at my line 2. You import the Web3 JS. So what is the first thing that we would like to do? The first thing that we would like to do is, just to like, would I say connect our blockchain or connect our MetaMask. So we'll actually like create a function that we call load blockchain. Yeah. So let's create. Okay, sorry, for people that don't know how to use React, just see this my app.js as your HTML file. So then see my line 10 to line 23 as your external JavaScript file. Sure you get. So I'll be creating a function called load blockchain. So load blockchain. That's spell it very well. Okay. Yeah, so it will be an async function. Why? Because we'll be making use of, most of our code will be like async function. So what do we want this our MetaMask to do? Sorry, our blockchain function to do. Sorry, blockchain function to do. We need it to load once our application loads first. So let me just show you guys something. We have something called, we have a function called use effects in React. What it basically does is, okay, so one of its function is that it loads, it runs once the page load. So let's do console.log here. Console.log LOAD. So when we go to our DApp, just take a look at my console. When you do control reload, as you can see it's actually load. So meaning that on every load of this page, this my load blockchain will actually work. Do you get? So what do I want to write inside this place? I basically want to load. Sorry, I basically want to check if the web browser you are using has an Ethereum browser, which our own is what's it called? Is Metamask. So we have two ways of checking. Would I say two ways? One is like the old way, one is like the new one. So basically, we can actually check our window property, because Windows has properties. We can actually check our window property by the use of Windows, by consoling our window. So if we console this, we'll see property. So for you to check your Ethereum browser, you will get access to it by doing window.web3 or window.ethereum. Did I spell it correctly? So let's just check if we have Ethereum browser here. So the first thing we'll do is we'll check if window.ethereum. Okay, for record purposes, let me just console this window so that we won't be confused that where are we getting this window property from. Window, yeah, it should work now. So as you can see, if you actually check through this is just like the property of your web browser. In my case, you can see on click, on close, and the likes. So here you would see some, let me see, you can see the Web3 Js. Okay, it will take time. So let me just go PKRs. So a way for us to check is, let's check if you have an Ethereum browser, which will check by the use of this code, window.ethereum. Another way we can actually check is by using window.web3. That is I think that is the new one. Window.web3. So let's put an else statement, ELSC. So basically, if you don't have any Ethereum browser installed, we are just basically going to tell you that we are just going to alert you, get, by using the function window.alert to PLES. Please install an Ethereum browser. So let's handle this function. If you actually have an Ethereum browser, what do we want to do? So we want to like initiate our, what would I say, our Web3 module. So the way we will do that is window.web3 is equals to, sorry. So here we'll be making use of this our imported library, which is called our Web3 Js. And as we've all known, for you to create a new instance of a class, you have to make use of the new keyword. So by doing this, so what are we passing inside? We're actually passing our Ethereum property inside. So after which we enable it. And how do we enable it? How do we enable it? Is by using the function in the Ethereum property. So we actually make use of the enable property. So how do we make use of the enable properties? It's by saying window.ethereum dot enabled BLED. Yes. So if you're actually making use of Web3, okay. So all you just have to do is just to pass your Web3 property. You don't need to enable anything here. So with this few lines of code, I believe we should enable here. I think I spelled it correctly. I believe we should like get access to our Ethereum browser, if I'm not mistaken. Oh my God. Where is my, okay. So let's like reload. As you can see, anytime I actually reload this, it actually takes me to my MetaMask extension. So the only reason why I'm being redirected is because I actually removed my extension and I installed it. So firstly, you click on Get Started. We won't be importing wallets because we're making use of our local blockchain. Sorry, please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much. So if you are setting up your MetaMask, all you just have to do is just to provide your password. So I've actually provided my password. So for now, I don't need any of their tutorial. I just click on next. So it's telling me to like click here to review my secret word. No, now I don't need it. Just remind me later, please. So basically, I have my MetaMask set up now, right? So by default, all our testnet network are set to hidden. So right now we can actually view all our network. We have the Ethereum mainnet and the rest of testnet. So basically, I'll be showing you how to like import. Is it import or setup? Set up a local blockchain by using our Ethereum. So you actually click on this, sorry, by using our MetaMask, sorry. So you actually click on this add network. When you click on this add network now, oh, sorry, I didn't know if I told you guys I'm actually making use of Truffle. So can you guys see my Ganache? Did I share my Ganache screen? So can someone just signify if you can see my Ganache?
Yeah, you can see it.
Okay, yeah, thanks very much. So basically, we all know that Ganache provides us 10 addresses of our blockchain with 100 fake ETH. So basically, by default, our first account, our first address is like our deployer's address. So how do we import our wallet? So we make use of the private key. So, but before that, I want to like connect my Ganache to my MetaMask. How do I do that? I'll copy the RPC server. So if it is, if you're actually making use of mainnet, you should know that the RPC server will be different. So you click on it, you click here, sorry. What should we call our network name? Let's call it block game. What should our currency symbol be? BKG. Yeah, I think chain ID should be 1337. Even if you type nonsense, it will automatically detect your chain ID because you've actually passed down your your RPC URL. So you can see that the chain ID is 1337. So the other stuff are optional. Then you click on save. So basically, I have 0 BKG or any nonsense. So why am I having 0? Because I've not actually imported this wallet. So let's import my first wallet. And how do you import wallet? You will make use of your private key, not your public key. The public key is the same thing as account address. So how do you do that? You click on this, then you click on import wallets. So how do you import wallets? I think we have a couple of ways. You can actually import your wallets by typing it, by making use of a JSON file. And that JSON file is a long way, please. So just paste your private key here, then click on import. Then once you import, as you can see, I have my 100 Ethereum here. Okay, sorry, I should have named it Ethereum, but just have it in mind that this is just the fake Ethereum that we actually provided with. So to be certain that we are connected with our MetaMask, we'll actually go back to our web browser and try to like reload our stuff. So after we've reloaded it, you know, when we reloaded it, it's told us to set up our MetaMask. So now it's telling us to connect my MetaMask to my next, and I'll click on connect. So basically, I've connected my MetaMask with my dApp browser. So I hope that helps us. So I think the next thing we would have to do now is we should load our blockchain. So you get. So let's head down to our code. Oh, okay. So let's create another function called load web3. So I think the mistake I did was this load blockchain variable. I should have named it load web3 because we're actually dealing with web3 here. We're not dealing with blockchain. So, and remember, I said the way use effect works is that it loads when our application loads. So load web3. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Oh, sorry. I pasted it in the wrong place. I didn't quite get that. Yeah. So the reason why I'm getting this error is because I'm using an await function inside a function that is not async. So I have to provide an async function. Now, so to be certain that this our load blockchain function works, let's console something there. You get let's just console any nonsense stuff. As you can see, I saw what I consoled. So basically, we all know what is called ABI. It's just like an interface that allows our smart contract and our dApp application to like talk. You get. So we'll be making use of our ABI. So basically, line 5 to 7, I've actually imported our ABIs. So my ABIs is located in the ABI file. As you can see, this is it's located here in the ABI files. So I practically have I think 4 ABIs, which I created 3, and this is just like the initial migration that comes with the project. So after creating the ABI, you might want to get your account. Yes, let's start with that. So remember that we saved our blockchain, sorry, our Web3 module inside window.web3. So here, let's console. Okay, sorry. Let's just save it in a variable. Let's save web3 is equals to window dot web3. So if I actually console this web3, I should be getting a web3 property. Oh, mistake. Oh, sorry. I wrote WebS, not Web3. Yeah. Yeah, so as you can see, this is our Web3. So you can see what I showed you here. All these things you see, Web3.eth, Web3. Everything, you can actually see it here. So you can see Web3.eth.utils and the likes. So first of all, let's just console.log our address. Which address? This first address you get. So the way we do that is with the Web3 Js helper. So let's save our address into a variable. Sorry, let's call it account. Yeah. Account is equals to. There's a function in web3.eth that shows us how to get account. So it's basically web3.eth. So where am I seeing this my ETH? As you can see here, you can see that I have access to my ETH here. And also, once I go to my documentation, if you click on this place, sorry, my network is slow. Yeah. So this is just this Web3 ETH module is just like a sub module. Sure, you get. So these are okay. Let's say you want to like load a smart contract, you'll be using web3.eth.contract. If you want to get accounts, all accounts, sorry, you'll be using web3.eth.account. So back to my code. So I'll be making use of a function called get account. So get is account. Yes. So since it's a function, I should invoke it. So let's console our account. Hopefully we don't face an error. Hopefully, yes. So as you can see here in my console, you can see an array of a string. So this string has an address. So let's check if this address exists in our Ginash. Right now, we're actually making use of our local blockchain now. So it ends with F4, F2, 10. So as you can see it, F4, F2, 10. So we're actually like connected to our blockchain. So now that we have our address, we would like to, set our address. So let's create something in. There's something in React called useState variable. So set accounts. So in the normal vanilla JS, okay, I'll show you guys how to do it. So let's just like, okay, this is my account. Let me create an HTML element, div account. Let me give you an idea of ACC. Yeah, so in our normal vanilla JS, the way we save or the way we change our dynamic HTML is by using document dot get elements by ID. So what is the ID of our elements? I think it's ACC. So how to get access to the HTML, right, is by using the inner.html. So let's say I'm saving, I won't be using this. I'm just like showing people that don't know how to use React to like set some variable. So right now I have my account on my screen. So as you can see now, this is my account. And what did I use? I basically make use of normal vanilla JS function, where document the get element by ID. But we won't be using that. This is React. So we're making use of this use state we created. You get. So set account. So the reason why I would be indexing this array is because the account comes in an array. So we basically want to access the string inside the array. So that is why we make we check the index. We index it with 0, and that is the first element. So in order for you to like display this account, you'd have to like do it this way. So I believe we should get the same thing too. So as you can see too, you can see that it's the same thing. So what else? After we've like set our account, what should we do? That means we have to like check our network ID. Which network are we connected to? So there's a function, or would I say a property in this ETH, in this Web3 that allows us to like check the network ID. So let me show you in Ganache. I think my network ID is 5777. So instead of me to hard code it, there's a code to check it. So let's say network ID, yes. So how do I check my network ID? So I'll make use of my Web3 JS, sorry, the Web3 instance I created. So it's by saying web3.eth .network .get ID, sorry, get ID, yeah. So to be sure that this will not give us undefined, I like to use console a lot, just to like debug anything. So when we get here, as you can see now, you can see in my console that I have 557. How do I get that 557? So you can see now that this is my network ID too. So instead of me coding it, you just have to like dynamically get your network ID. Imagine me coding it now and I deploy my application and I want to make use of the Ethereum net. So this thing will not work. So now that we've gotten our network ID, we'd like to load our smart contracts. I know basically I told you we have like 3 smart contracts, which is the DAI token, DAP token, and token firm. So we're actually going to load our smart contracts. So how do we load our smart contracts? Let's store them in a variable. Yeah, so let me remove this one. So const DAI token. Yeah, so DAPP token. And our token firm, yes. Okay, So basically, I'm actually saving this my ABI into a variable. So how do I do that? I make use of my JSON file. I think the first one is die token. I copy this, then I do this. So in order for us to be able to load all these smart contracts, we need to filter it with our network ID. And how did you get our network ID? You know, we actually got in our network ID here. So if you go through your ABI, there's a property called network there. So we'll network here. So you access the network by putting your network ID. Yeah. So you will do the same for all other APIs. Sorry, I'm just copying and paste. So my token firm ABI is named token firm ABI. So I would have to like, oh, so sorry. So with this now, I've actually loaded my my three smart contracts. So to be sure that it's, you know, it works, would have to like console them. I'm sorry if I'm actually making use of the console too much. I just want to be certain that it works. So let me just get everything. Yeah, so head down to your browser. Oh, we're getting errors. Nice. So let's see. Export, deport, import and export can only be used. So let's see where we are making mistake. Wow. There's an error which I'm trying to debug. Oh, sorry. It's this curly braces. Yes. I don't know how it got removed. Yes. So I believe the error should go now. Yeah, fine. So let me comment this out back. Let's head down to our browser. Yeah, so see now, this is our DApp token properties. This is our DApp token and token firm now. So now that we have our APIs initialized, so we would want to like create a smart contract of all APIs. So let me head down to my my documentation. You will see something. Yes, this place. Yeah, so as you can see, this is just like a submodule, web3.eth.contract. So as you can see here, so a way for me to load my smart contract is by making use of this function, web3.eth.contract. So let's say LOAD load all contracts. Yeah, this is just basically a comment to her. Okay, yes, this is basically a comment. So let's first load our DAI token smart contract. So how do we do that? We'll actually we'll have to store them in a variable const DAI token smart contract. Oh, sorry, let me name it contract. Yeah. So now, before I create any smart contract of an API, I basically need two things. I need the API and I need the address of the smart contract. So, I showed you how to create, how to load a smart contract. So we're basically creating a new instance of our smart contract. So we'll basically be using web3.eth.contract. So this stuff I wrote out now, I'm not just writing it from my head. I'm actually making use of the documentation. So for you to like get access to your API, we actually loaded our API here. So let's check our API. This is the DAI token API now. So as you can see, if I want to like get access to my API, I have to do DAI token.api. If I want to get access to my contract name, I have to do DAI token.contract name. You get? Let's get back to our app.js. Yes. So yeah, man. Yeah. So let's create the contract for DAI token API. So DAI token API.api. Remember I said we are going to get access, as you can see now, this is our API now. So another way to get access to my address is by making use of this this network that we saved. So if you hover this now, you will see that it's showing our address, our input and the likes. So for me to get access to my smart contract address, you have to use that token.address address. I hope I'm right. Okay, so basically, let's just to be sure, let's just confirm. Sorry, let's just console our smart contract address. Just to be sure. So let's head down to our browser and let's see if we are right. So as you can see now, this is my address. So the smart contract address. Sorry, the API address. Sorry. So we'll do that for the three smart contracts. This is the DApp token. So so for this, we'll be making use of the token firm. So now I've actually like created a new instance of our smart contracts. So for me to be able to get access to our transfer from function and all the likes, so I would be making use of this. Why? Because I've actually created a contract in our front end. I'm sorry if I'm actually using my console.log. I just like to use it just to debug. So to be certain that this code works, let's actually console. Okay, let's just console this to be certain that it works. So we're actually consoling our smart contract, which is the token firm smart contract. So as you can see here now, there's a contract that is created. So for me to get access to all my functions I created in the smart contract, I think it can be accessed in the method properties. Yes. So as you can see, I talked about issue token as stake token and the likes. So if you want to get access to your function, you get them in the method property. So now that what's that? Yeah. So now that we've created our smart contract, I think the next thing to do is just to let's check our address. Yes. So let me just show you guys the script we used in deploying. Where did I deploy this? So I think I basically explained this. So the DAI token we deployed, I think the total supply is 1 million. Nobody has access to it. So on deployment, we actually transferred. No, let's say we transferred token. We transferred some to the accounts. So we transferred to this and we transferred to this. So basically, okay, let me just do balance of. So let me go to my smart contract. I just want to show you so that I won't be right. Ahmed. So if you come to this DAI token now, you can actually get the balance of address with this mapping called balance of now. So let me console the balance of the person's account on this MetaMask. So, I said you would get access to all functions in the method properties. So let's say const balance is equals to, so let's start from the DAI token balance. So methods dot how do I get balance? I'll have to make use of the balance of function, balance of. So, oh sorry, I spelled the methods wrongly. So when I'm checking the balance of now, where is the account? Which account am I checking the balance of? So it is the account of the MetaMask. And where do I get it? I've saved the account in this variable. So I do this, yes. So because it's an asynchronous call, I'll have to use the await function. So let's console.log our balance. So smart contract returns big number. Even I won't say it's much for JavaScript. So for us to get access to our balance, we'll have to control our balance and turn it into string. So by that, we'll use a toString function. So I believe we should get our balance, our user's balance. Sorry. Oh, I'm coming. Yes. Hmm. 46. I'm coming. Okay, let me just console. I don't know why I'm getting errors. Okay, this should be our. Oh, I think I know what the problem is. So this brings us to two functions that I'll be explaining. So for you to like make any transaction, you have to like, after you've called your function, you have to like use the send keyword. But when you are retrieving, let's say balance or anything, you have to like make use of your call keyword. So for now, we are basically retrieving account. So we have to make use of this call keyword. So this is basically calling our function. So the string. I'm sorry, I made a mistake here. I believe we should get access to. Wow, I'm getting error. Okay, yeah, I think I know what's wrong. Before this function loads, I think this account is basically not set console.log. So let's just console.log the account and let's see if the account has been saved, which I doubt it. Okay, let's do it like this. So
it's like so.
Yeah, so basically, let me actually make use of this account.
Specify the account.
Yeah, I think I noticed that. Thank you very much. So yeah, so basically, where am I getting this account from? Is from line 28. So you get. So I believe we shouldn't have any error now. Oh, sorry, I wrote console.low. Wow. Okay, error, invalid address. Wow.
You didn't update the last one. For the last one, you update the account to put area.
Oh, I've not deployed, right? What I
No, like the balance of account, you don't put area of 0.
Oh, thank you very much. Damn. Thanks, bro. What am I getting again? No. Return value aren't valid. Did you run out of gas? You might also see this error. You are not. Oh. I think I know the problem. Maybe I have to run. I didn't run truffle deploy. So basically, yeah, this thing happens. So let's say we've created our application before, and we actually upgrade our smart contract, or we created another smart contract. You know, we have to like change the ABIs. So right now, it seems I didn't upload my ABI. I guess that's the problem, because the only way we would get this error saying value and return value aren't valid. Did you run out of gas? You might also see the error if you are not using the correct ABI. So I guess I'm not using the correct ABI. So let's deploy and let's see. So once before my this thing compile. So let's just go through our code to make sure we are using the DAI token ABI, DAI token ABI. Oh. Yes, I think you are right. Okay. Okay, my listing is still loading. Wait, that doesn't make mistakes. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Why is this thing taking long? I'm coming. Yeah, so since I was the one that made mistakes, sorry. So if you check our Ginash now, we would see that there will be a reduction in this first account. Why? Because this is the account that deployed it. So I think I was the one that made mistake. Sorry. So by now I feel it should work. Yeah. So it works now. The reason why it wasn't working is because I have not deployed my smart contract to this my Ganache blockchain. So that is why it's not working. So basically, this is my account. This is my DAI token, my account. The user's account, sorry. So basically, let me rename this very well. This is DAI token balance. DAI token balance. Yeah, this is DAI token balance now. So let's like get the balance of the DApp token balance to get. So it's almost the same thing. Yes, balance of, because both of them are actually basic ERC20 token. So let me let me actually console. What is wrong with my keyboard? Okay, yes. So let me console this and this. So if you head down to your browser, we should get both address. So now this is the balance of my DApp token. Why is it 0? Because I've not staked anything. This is the balance of my what's it called? My DAI token, which is the coin I will use in staking. So as you can see, you are seeing 9999 million, blah 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 blah. So this is just like in way. So there's a function in Web3 that helps you to convert from way to Ether. Okay. I'm coming. Let's go to getting started. Okay, yeah, it should be this. It should be in this util. So as you can see, this Web3.util contains like an extra functions that will aid you instead of you doing your normal. Okay, I think I got it. Yes. So now, if I want to convert my way to Ether, I'll be making use of web3.util dot from way. If I want to convert my Ether to way, I'll be using to way. So I'm coming. This is second balance, right? So let's say, okay, like I said earlier, I said we'll be using from way. So if you check the console now, you see that it's actually like show you the amount in Ether you have, the real amount in Ether you have. So basically, I have access to like my two balances. So it will be like, will I say it will be great to like create a variable for each of them. Shit, sorry. Accounts. Let's put a string oxd. Yeah, so this one should be 0 and this one should be 0. So we'll be calling this one set die token balance. Yeah, and I will be naming it die token balance. You get? Oh, I think okay. So that we won't have a naming convention issue. Okay, let's go on. Don't worry. Okay, die token balance. Okay, this will be DApp token balance set. So now let's head down to this place. You can see that I actually named them with the same variable, so it doesn't really make sense. So let me make use of the uppercase. So now, after getting our balance, let's make use of the set die token balance. Why are we doing that? We just want to like have our token balance in our memory, in the memory of the program, in the state memory. Sorry. So by doing that, you'd have to do like this: set die token balance as this. Yes. Oh my God. So the first one is die token. The second one is DApp token. So what am I doing? Okay, yes. So now I've actually set my die token and my DApp token now. So how do I like display on my screen? You know, I said, okay, let my page reload. Yeah, you know, I said you'd display here and display it here. So this is die token and DApp token now. So let's display it on our screen. So I believe in React JS, we know what is called components. So I have another subcomponent called main. So my main component is where I have my UI there. So I'll basically know what props is. So basically passing die token balance and token balance as props. So in this main main file. This is our props to be able to, to be certain that what we passed was received here. Let's, try to console our props. Yeah, so let's head down to our terminal, yes, as you can see, die token, that token. So both are actually 0, which is wrong. I'm guessing I passed wrong. I'm coming. Die token balance, that token balance. Okay, you know what? Let me just console them. Console.log, console.log. So let's see what we have in our terminal. Wow, we're having 0, which is weird. Sorry. I actually renamed this variable. I actually set it to lowercase, sorry, uppercase, and I didn't update this. Yes, I think that was my mistake. I'm very sorry about that. So I believe now we should get an updated balance. Yeah, so as you can see my balance now, I have my die token and my tap token. So let's destructure it in the main file. So we have our props here. So let's like destructure our props here. Props. So now let's display our token. So we'll see here that this is our staking balance here now. So this is my DAI token, which I would, which I would display here. And I'll be displaying my DApp token here. So what have I done? So if I head down to my browser now, I should see my balance. So this is DAI token balance and DApp token balance. So if I head down to my browser, okay, I think I placed it in the wrong place. So this is a staking balance. Sorry, I'm not supposed to paste it here. I'm not supposed to paste it here. Yes, so as you can see, this is balance. So I think I'm supposed to paste it here. So this is our stake token balance. And I think there is another one. It's called DAI token balance. So DAI token. Where is my balance stake token? Let me just put it here. This is DAP token. Right? Sorry, please mute your system. Sorry. I will mute yourself. There's noise here. Wait. Okay, my balance should be here. I'm making a mistake then. Where is my balance? 0. Okay, sorry, it should be here. That's a mistake, sorry. Yeah, so basically, I think I'm doing something wrong. I'm coming. Balance. Oh, sorry. I actually included the DAP token. It should be the DAI token. Sorry. Yeah, as you can see now, this is the balance of my DAI token, and this is my DAP token balance. Sorry, my DAP token. So basically, practically, I have 0 now. So I think the last thing we'll do in today's section is to fire the stake function the um and the unstake function. Yeah. So how do we get access to those functions? We need access to the smart contract we created. So for us to get that, where did we create the smart contracts? Yes. So we have to like pass in all these contracts as a props. So for us to be able to do that, we need to like save it in a variable so that we'll be able to pass them down. So what should we set that contract? Yes, let's name that. Set that contract. Set that contract. I think we are running out of time. Sorry. So this will be set token farm FARM contract. And so this is just a normal use case, use state stuff, which I believe all of us know. So that is why I'm not explaining what our use state is. So I advise to pick up a crash course on how to create front end with React. So now we actually created a variable that will be saving all our smart contract instance. So this is where we actually initialize our smart contract instance. So now when we loaded this DAI token smart contract, what we want to do is to set it in a state so that we'll be able to reuse the function. So you do this. For these two, okay, this is the DAP smart contract. You set the DAP smart contract. So the third one is token firm. So set, let me just copy it. Okay, yeah, So basically, we have all our smart contracts saved now in a state in a variable. So if you want to like pass them down to our props, it will be easier for us instead of us creating another likewise another smart contract, another a new instance of the smart contract, which wouldn't make sense. So where is our main? So this is our main JS file. So now I'm basically going to like pass in this our contract down. So now that we have our contract here, so okay, let me just, why am I right passing the function? Yeah. So let me just go in into our props and then check. So now basically, you know, we destructured our props, and now that we have like up to like 5 props, we have to like keep updating our props to get. So I've set this. So now that we have our contract in our props, so no, so we can now create our stake and unstaking balance. Sorry, stake and unstake function. So I have a place where, okay, now this is my stake button and this is my unstake button. So let's first make use of the stake button. So basically, this is a form. So the button serves as an on-submit, sorry, a submit button for a form. Sorry. So let's just make sure our function is working. And so that's log here. Okay. For better codes, let me just remove all my unused code to be able to keep track of my new one. So I'm basically removing all consoles. Okay, I think I've removed. Yes, fine. So back to my main function now. So this is my main function now. So I believe if I click on this stake token, oh my God, it's not working. I should get coming. Oh, so for me to be able to click on this, I'm probably, oh, my system has hanged. Yes, so if I'm clicking on this, my stake token, I'm actually getting the console I put there. So one thing is, inside this my onSubmit function, because I have access to my smart contract, I can actually write how will I say, I can actually write all my functions here. But the problem is when I get my my account balance back, I won't be able to set them back. But no problem. So let's just make use of it now. So we want to like stake a function, stake a token. What are we staking? We're actually like we're actually like creating we're actually like getting all methods in the smart contract we created now. So this is our token fair, so this is our dApps contract, our DAI contract, and our token fair. So now if you want to stake, you're actually staking your DAI token. So how do I like get your DAI token now? So before you stake anything, you need to like approve the smart contract to like spend spend an amount that you have, you get. So basically we are going to call the approve function first before we call the stake function. So now this is my, what are we staking? We're actually staking a DAI token. So here, where is my function? Okay, yes. Yeah, I'm very sorry. My network got bumped out. I just found out that I wasn't hearing anything. So can anybody hear me now? Just signify, please.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm very sorry. My network is doing nonsense. Hello?
We can hear you. No, we cannot see your screen.
Oh,
We can hear you.
okay, yeah. I'm coming. Let me share my screen. Where is this sharing screen? Exit. Let me just know if you can see my screen. So let me just know if you can see my screen, please. So I'll continue.
We can see it now.
Oh, thank
We
you.
can see.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think I stopped at the approve function now. So before you can stake anything, you need to like tell the smart contract. Like you need to like approve the smart contract to be able to spend your money. So I will basically know that the approve function takes in two parameters: the address and the unit. So basically, how do you get the smart contract address, which is the token firm address? So this is it. token firm address dot address. So this is how to access the address. Then you then pass how will I say, you pass the amount Why is network fucking me up now? Okay. Oh, I'm back. Thank God. So can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Hello. Can anyone see my screen? All
Yeah, I
right.
can see your screen now.
Thank you. Thank you. Jeremiah Bino. Okay, now so how do I pass in my inputs? So this my input is actually like taking in the amount I want to approve the smart contract to to spend for me. I'm coming. Let me go back to my Apple.js so you guys will see. Yeah, as you can see now, I did web3.util.fromWay. This is just to convert from Way to Ether. So, but if you are converting from Ether to Way, it will be okay. Let me save it in a way. Cost value is equals to, so it will be to Way now, not from Way, because we are converting from Ether to Way input. Yeah. So right now I don't have access to this Web3. That's why it's giving me error. But if you can remember, when I'm actually checking, so when I'm loading my Web3, I actually stored that same Web3 inside the window.web3 object you get. So I can actually say this too, window.web3. I believe it should work. And if it doesn't work, we'll have to like pass in that as a props now. You get .log. Yes. So let's just like console our value. Okay. Let me reload it. Sorry. Okay, yeah. Now, so let's say let me put 1 Ether now, and let me click stake. Oh, error. Dot approve. Oh, Then let me call. Okay, let me just console it first. So let's see. Yeah, this is 1 ether now. And when I click on stake, you can see now it's converted to 1 way, which is I think 1 with 18 zeros. So nice. So now to call my approve function, now I need to like provide the person sending the approve function. How do I do that? I make use of the send function. So I know we talked about message.sender in our smart contract. So how do we get access to that message.sender? It's by passing this from. It's by passing the address here and the value here. So how do I pass in the person sending this? I guess I would have to like pass in my address. Sorry. So I'll have to go back here. This is my account. Where is it? Yes. This is my account. Then I'll have to pass it as a props too. So with this now, I've gotten access to my account, which is my, what's it called? My address. Yes. Sorry. So now, what am I passing here now? You know, when we want to get access to the user's address, we use msg.sender. If you want to get access to the value, we use msg.value. So this is where it comes from. So now we've passed in this. Yes, so basically, if I actually call this function, it should work. But you know, I have to like listen to the callback function. And for every function, sorry, for every transaction on blockchain, I'm guessing there's a transaction hash that is being provided. So if I want to listen to the transaction hash, there's a function I will do. So that I will use called the on function. So the on function now, if I want to check if I'm getting an error, all I need to do is just to do on error, right? But I'm actually going to check if the transaction is, successful. And when the transaction is successful, I believe there's an hash that is generated, transaction HASH. Yes. So you basically pass in callback function, which is called hash. Yeah, so now after you've like approved the smart contract that okay, I approved you to spend for my money, then you now have access to the DAI token dot stake. So you get, so where we get this? Yes. So you must write this inside the callback function in the approve function. If not, it will not work. So basically, we'll be using this. So how do we get access to my stake function? Remember, I said you must check the method property. So method dot, I think it's stake token, if I'm not mistaken. As one, I think it should be an okay, no problem. Let's just do it. So what does the stake token get? I think it's only getting your, let me check it, sorry. Do not pass nonsense inside. Yeah, this is stake token. It's just basically receiving your amount. So let's go back to our main. Is it my main? Yeah. So my amount is value. So now I'm calling this now. I still need to tell my smart contract, the person that is signing this transaction. You get. Save. So now if I want to like know that is this transaction successful, I'd also be listening or I'll also check if my transaction is successful. And how do I do that? Is by listening to the hash stuff. So let's console here and see if my console.log hash. So basically, I cannot call this token firm contract dot method dot stake token without, like, I must first approve before calling this. If I didn't approve this, it will fail. So let's head down to our our page. Hope we don't get any error. Okay, let's fill in this. Yeah. I think I know we'll get an error. So it's basically telling me that set DAI token contract, the method of approve is not a function. This is my DAI token contract. Yes, okay, let me check if I'm passing the wrong one. Oh, as you can see, my line 83 and 84. I think I made a mistake. Yeah. So look at my DAI token now. What am I passing? I'm passing the token firm smart contract, which there is no approve function there. So I have to like pass the DAI token, the DAI smart contract for me to get access to the approve function. I guess that is why it's not working. So let's head down here and let's check if it will work. Cannot send value to non-payable contract. Since we didn't make our stake token, wow. So now look at the mistake I did here now. When you're actually like, when you want to like spend your ether, I think you need to like pass a function payable keyword there. So with this now, it will still not work. Why? I have to like redeploy my smart contract. So I'm very sorry about that for not passing the word payable there. So basically what this payable does is just to like remove your ether, then transfer it to the smart contract address. So you get. So I'm sorry about that. So whenever you like run through an error, just like check your error message. I believe you should like, get access to, oh, what's this saying? There's a problem. Okay, I know what to do. I think I have to remigrate it. Yeah. Yeah. The same way migration works on this. Wow. What should I do? Okay. Reset function. Okay, yes. So if you want to like update your smart contract, I think you need to add the reset keyword there. So I think I forgot that. So you can see now, this was formerly 99.94. Now, because it detects a new deployment, it actually changed it. It actually like charge you a new gas fee. If you like deploy 100 times, you get access to. Okay, let me run my list. Yeah, so hopefully we don't get an error. Cannot send her. Cannot send value to a non-payable contract method constructor. Let's see where we are having our error. Coming. Where am I getting it from? So I'm just trying to like debug.
Sorry, why not remove the value since you are not dealing with ether in the stake token function? You are not dealing with ether there. You are not using message of value.
Oh, okay. Sorry, what did you say?
You are not using message of value inside the state token, so maybe you should not pass in any value.
Oh, yes,
Again,
yes, yes, yes. I think I made that mistake. Yes. Oh, sorry guys. This value is just like the amount, I think the amount in ether, but you're actually like staking a DApp token, sorry, a DAI token, not ether. I guess that is why I'm getting that. Oh, you see the mistake I did. I was passing, I passed in the value here, and I also passed in the value here, which doesn't really make sense. I'm very sorry about that. And I think I need to deploy again. I guess so. So since we are not actually receiving any ether, there's no need to use like our payable function. So thank you very much for that. Yeah. Yeah, as you can see now, we are being charged gas fee too. So let's go. My screen does not want to minimize. So now let's refresh our this thing and let's like put one. Yes, thank you very much. That's what. So now the reason why I'm getting this pop-up is because I made use of the approved function now. So let's see now. What is it saying? It says give permission to access your mock DAI token. Now, if you didn't run that, if we didn't apply the approve function, it will not work. You get. So we'll have to like confirm her. Sorry. I'm actually passing one. No, I think I should be passing many because this is like an 18 decimal stuff. So let me run it again. Sorry. I'm coming. A fee is allocated to your listing. Cannot send value to a non-table method or constructor. I'm coming. Where is my? How am I getting the error from? I'm coming. This is a stake token. Okay, let's pass in 0. Yes, to be certain. Okay. Transaction try to execute. User denied transaction. I think I know where I'm getting from. I'm actually converting my DAI token, which I'm coming. Where did I convert it? I think it's the main JS file. Where is it?
So you are still passing value to the stake and the said token. You only remove it from the approve.
Thank you, boss. Yeah. Oh, exhausting. So let's say I want to stake like this, and I hit this. Yes, and I confirm. I believe should go. Yes. So it's not going to fail now because my amount is actually greater than 0. What? Okay, I've not approved it now. Okay, yes. So once I confirm, I believe my transaction should work. So now check this line. This is main.59, right? So 59, sorry. Where is my main.js? Main.js. Yeah, so this is my transaction hash. So once you get the transaction hash, automatically, you're certain that your transaction went through. So right now, I'm not making it in real time. So I have to like reload my function just to like where I say be certain that so amount has been removed. Okay, let's make it a significant number. I think I'm converting it back to DAI. This transaction should fail. Yes. Yeah, I was expecting that it should fail. Okay, I'm coming. Let me check the amount I'm actually sending down. Where did I convert it? Yeah, the way. Yes, no. Okay, yes. So I have like okay. So let me see. I want to like save. I'm not taking out my token. I just want to like make it show that I actually stick some token. So I'm still getting like 998. Now you can see that actually initially we were getting 998, but now it is 988. So what does this mean? It actually means that our money was removed from our DAI token to our smart contract. So our staking balance should be showed here. So I guess I passed in the wrong address. So where do we get our staking balance here? So yes, this is our DApp token balance. So to be sure, let's just like console.log this. I believe we shouldn't have 0. We should have, wow, we're still getting 0. That's weird. Wow. Main JS 21. Okay. Let me check if I'm passing the wrong stuff. Okay. So where did I save my DApp token balance? DApp token balance, yes. Balance of DApp token. Set DApp token to string. Yes. The DApp token balance. Yes, now. Okay. I know what to do. Sorry. Let's just like console our address, console.log my DApp token balance. Console.log now. Yes. Main JS. How come? Balance to string from we. Yes, it's from we. Okay, let me try to like stick another coin. I'm getting this is 988. Yes, confirm. Yes, confirm. Yes, so let's just switch on screen. Yes. Yes, no. Well, our token was deducted for some reason. Sorry, please let me meet yourself, please. This is interesting. Wow. That token. Yes. Set that token. Set that token. Sorry, I'm still trying to like locate where I'm getting the error from. But I know the call. What's happening? 2 seconds. Byte, I guess, is muted. Yes, with 3 dots with 2 dots from way is balance of this now that became contract dot method to balance of this. Yes. Okay. And then we do dot way first. Let's see. I'm still getting 0. Wow. Does that mean our smart contract is not correct? I doubt that. So let's check on transfer from function. Yes, now. If you credit, debit this percent, credit this percent here. Yeah, it's right. I'm reading. Okay. Let me create the last function, which is called onStake token, and let's see if it actually works. Right now, I don't think I can figure out what the problem is. I'm very sorry about that. Where's my onStake? Yeah, so this is my onStake function. onStake. Oh, sorry. Type submit. What should I do? So let's just create an unclick function. So I just want to like check if my Chrome is now responding. Wow. Yeah. What is happening now? Can this is my screen set? Okay, yes, that responded. So let's click on onStake token. Okay, yeah, so my onStake token is working. So I'm coming. So if you're actually trying to like onStake token, you don't really like need to approve anything. All you just need to do is just like call your onStake function. Then yes, just call your onStake function. So I'm practically going to like copy and paste my stake function here. Then I'm going to rename it. Okay, getting an error. Yeah. Okay, yeah, fine. So we're just going to like call the onStake function on onStake token. So just to be sure that I'm actually calling the right token. Okay, onStake token. Okay, is capital. It is capital. Yes. And stake token. So also, I think there's SDS. And so also when I'm creating my stake token, I have to like pass in my account and then listen to the transaction hash. So let's see if my stake token will work. Oh, sorry. On stake. Am I spelling it wrong? Let me wrongly, sorry. Let me check here. Let me just copy it. On stake. Yes. We go back to your and paste it here. Oh, it seems I spelled it wrongly. Sorry. So let's basically create this on stake token got 0. I'm not supposed to send anything.
It is an amount inside the contract you open.
What do you say?
The contract you open is receiving an amount. Check the contract again.
The contract.
The file contract you just open now. The on stake is receiving an amount.
No. Where? Sorry. Yes. So I'm basically going to pass. I'm going to pass in
Okay, so the mentor just joined.
Hello, sorry, can anybody hear me? Hello. Oh, it's okay.
I can hear you.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my phone got switched off. I, I didn't know. I'm very sorry about that. Okay, I think I was talking about the unstake token. Where is the unstake token? Yeah. Okay. Okay, yes, this is my unstake token. So I think I also need to like, will I say like um convert the token back to way, like back to 18 decimal stuff. So hopefully, okay, this is transaction hash. This is my stake token contracts dot blah blah blah. Yes, it should work now. I guess. Okay. Oh yeah, sorry. So the reason why it's brought .0000001 is because I didn't convert it back to way. So it's actually saying that 1000 as 0.0000000 this thing. So let's say 1000 and let's unstick our token. So let's confirm. Okay, yes, I think we've got a transaction hash here, which if I reload my distance, I believe our distance should increase. Okay, so now it was formerly 979 and sorry, it was formerly 978 and now 979. So let's just be sure. Let's unstake an amount now. We actually have 9798. So right now if I do it back, I think yeah, we have 98. So yeah, I think that's basically it. But I'm still having issue to fetch my what's it called? I don't know why it's not working. I'm very sorry. Yes, this is okay. Let me check. Probably I'm setting the wrong stuff then. Okay, so set that token, and set this thing. Okay, that token firm, that token ABI. I think what I'm doing wrong. Okay. Type token balance is 0. Come on. Set that token balance from wave. Okay. Let me do like this. Don't let me put any way anything there. So let's see. That's still 0. Okay, so guys, basically I think the thing remaining is just like fetch our adapt token balance, which I'm actually finding it hard to do now. Since I don't know, I made some mistakes. So okay, admit. Probably should just give like 2 minutes again to get where I'm mistaken, and if not, I have to get back to you. But basically, let me deploy itself. But that cannot be the problem. That cannot be the problem, I'm sure. Okay, let me check. This is my DApp token. Now, why am I getting here? App.js. Let me calm down. DApp token, network ID. Okay, so you do your contract. You set your DAI token, you set your DApp token, you set your token smart contract frame. So this is your set DApp token, DApp. Okay, so balance of this. Okay, let's call, yeah. So we set consider DApp token to string. Okay, let me see this. Okay, it's still deploying. Let's see. I'm sorry, my system is a little bit slow, so still migrating. Let's go back to this one. It shouldn't be 0. Okay, let me see. Validate, blah 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 blah. Index. Okay, set. This is 0. Okay. I think I know what to do, but doesn't really make sense. Let me okay. Okay, yeah, it has deployed finished. So let me check it. I'm sorry. Oh, still done 0. Okay.
Maybe you should check your balance of implementation in the contract to be sure that it's actually returning the.
Okay. Yeah, I think I will do that. Yeah. Let's say this. Okay. So we go to transaction hash. Okay, so yeah, okay. Let's do what it says. Yes. Okay, so basically, where is my balance of? Yes, now this is my balance of, and this is what it should. Let me check. Probably I'm not saving and balance of this now. Are practically the same. Wow, this is oh my god. Okay, let me do something. Where did I get the balance of yeah, where did I get the balance of? Okay, die token dot method dot balance of, okay, and this was given. Okay, I know what I'll do. Let me replace this. Let's see this token frame is approve balance of this now. It's working. Balance of okay. Let me split my screen. Fine. That token and that token. I'm very sorry for the delay. Sometimes before you can locate the bug, it's actually take time. But this is also silly.
Maybe you should
Mistake.
just write it yourself. instead of saying Solidity should help you, maybe you should just write it yourself so that you'll be able to get it. You're using a public function for the balance of, so that Solidity will help create the getter or something. Is that not what you are calling?
Like, I don't get what you're saying.
You are calling balance of, which is a public variable here. So meaning Solidity is the one helping you to create the functions, right? The getter. Maybe you should just write it yourself, the function yourself, and deploy. Probably.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. So basically, we want to like get transfer. Sorry, we want to like get I'm coming. Balance our balance. So basically, our balance will be like I think uint, yes. So what should we name it? Balance of, okay, yeah, fine. So basically, let's say, what should we name our function? Okay, balance of user, yes. So basically, I think what will be passing through, okay, we don't need to pass anything through. We'll get, we get access to exactly, get balance is equals to, yes, uint is equals to msg.zenda. What am I writing? Yeah, ms.zenda, fine. So basically, msd.zenda. So for me to like get the balance of, so I need to like pass in this. So now once I do this balance of, it's like sending message to sender, I should be able to like, this should be able to like return your balance. So let's say return balance, yes. So basically unit, sorry. Functions statement table can be restricted to view. Sorry. Yeah, the reason why it's bringing this is because why are in public? Return w. Oh, okay. So I think with this, we should get we actually created our own balance. Sorry, our own message dots, our own balance of, sorry. So let's rerun our migration, and all I need to do is just to, you know, like instead of calling balance of, then I think I need to call balance of user. So let my migration runs. Okay, wow, it is fast. That's nice. Okay, so let's head down to our front end. Where is my app.js? Yes, is it app.js? No, I think it is main.js. So no, sorry, app.js. Yes. So let me be sure that we created it in our DAI token. Okay, sorry, we're actually getting balance off of our DApp token, right? Yes. So I created it in a DAI token, which will still not work. So I'm to put it in this place. Yeah. So let me redeploy. So by now, our DAI token smart contract will have a function called balance off. So okay. Okay, yeah, thanks. So let's head down to our app.js, and instead of calling that token dot balance off, so basically we are passing nothing here, and oh sorry, balance of, I think is user. Well, let me check so that I won't write nonsense, please. The balance of users. My app.js. Where am I? Yes. Okay. So hopefully, let's. Oh, wow. Why am I getting an error? Okay. Let me stake money. So on every new deployment, I think our this thing will like reset our smart contracts because our smart contracts will have to like change address. So this is 9998. So once I do this, so it is 989. Share my screen. Okay. Okay. So I'm actually still getting 0. Transferring, okay. That again to transfer from users account to smart contract account. Yeah. So let me check the no. After I'm staking, yes. The staking balance. When I'm staking a token, transfer from. Okay. Oh, sorry. I think I'm the one getting it wrong. On staking a token, you actually sending DAI. So actually sending DAI. So you don't really have any will I say I'm sorry, don't let me confuse you guys. I'm sorry. I think I'm calling the wrong function. I'm supposed to call the token firm staking balance. I'm sorry, guys. The DApp token balance of that I'm calling, you only get that token if the user is wrong thing all along. I'm very, very sorry about that. I just picked that now. So instead of, I don't know if you, so can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we
Thank you.
can hear you.
Did you guys get what I said now?
Yeah, that you're supposed to call the stake balance as opposed to the balance.
Exactly. I'm actually calling the DApp token balance, which so I'm supposed to call token firm dot stake balance. Gosh, this has wasted my time. and I think I've wasted you guys' time, so I'm very sorry about that. So where am I actually calling my balance? Oh, imagine I didn't even save the staking balance. So it was a mistake. I'm very sorry, guys. Wow. Gosh. This is someone. Token, I think you have to put a set token. Yes. Taking balance. So let me go to where I was consoling this. So now I'm making of two, which are and I adapt token. This is just to take the amount of what's my network giving me issue like this now? How about? So can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Okay.
Please no vex. So this my network is really fucking up. So let me stick my let me console my stuff here. Yeah. So my staking balance, I believe it should work now. If oh, it won't work. You know why? Because I didn't pass the address into the staking balance function. You guys get. So this is my staking balance. I'm actually going to pass this account. Yes, so I believe it should work now. Let's try to reload our. So this is 73. Am I sure? Yeah, this is 73. So you can see that it's actually working now. Wow, I'm very sorry. So in order to like get our normal token, not in way, but in Ether, so you can see now, we actually staked 10,000 and we're actually getting back our 10,000 now. So so after getting this, I would have to like set it in the variable. So now we basically need to pass this through. Sorry. Okay. Token firm is equals to token firm. Yeah. See, am I mistaken? Okay, so let's head down to our main DS file and import and destructure it here. Yes. Okay, so this is our staking balance, right? So where do we put our staking balance? You know, you actually staked in mock, so in DAI, so it must be DAI. So I believe, as you can see now, this is our staking balance. So to be certain, you get, let's actually stake like another coin, let's say 5,000 token coin. When you stake this, you confirm your address, so you approve it, then you confirm the transaction. So right now, I think we successfully signed this token. Now this is 1,000, right? So when I try to reload my system, I feel it should be 2,000. Sorry, okay, 1,500 now. So basically, I think actually covered our Web3 Js. So, Chikere, are you here? Okay, no problem. I think I would really want to have to stop the recording so that we'll have a normal chart coming. So basically, we've created two functions, stake token and unstake token. You see here, forget about all this stake token and unstake token. What you are actually concerned with is this thing, this code that we write here to load our smart contract. One, after that, how to load our token contract. Two, how to get address. Three, how to get the balance. Four, hey, let me just give you guys one cheat. If you're actually getting something from a smart contract, like you're just getting anything, you'll be using the word, the function call. Sure, you get me? But if the function that you are using is going to be making use of msg.zender, you cannot use the word, the call function. The call is just to retrieve. You have to use the send keyword. Sure, you get? Okay, I'm coming. Stop recording. Are you sure you want to stop recording? Loud.